Hello, welcome to another Dominion Rising Sun learning game. We've got Prosper, which lets us gain a bunch of treasures, which includes Horn of Plenty and rocks. Shy lets us discard a Shy card for 2 cards. Panic, when you play a treasure plus 2 buys, and when you discard it, return it from play. So, um, which pile is the Shy pile? Horn of Plenty. Kind of awkward. Um, so Margrave seems good. Um, Catapult seems okay. Perhaps Alley Catapult. I don't really see a better way to thin. I don't honestly know why they took a Blessed Village there. We don't have Blessed Village Margrave stuff. Um, I think I'm gonna go Alley Catapult. Guarantee see my catapult. Uh, get some um, get some villages. Get catapult, then get like a Blessed Village, get a Patrician, get a Rustic Village, and then build to Margrave engine with Horn of Plenty as the payload. If I play this alley, there's a pretty good chance that I hit 4. I don't get my attack, but I get this. Panic is really going to hurt the Horn of Plenty deck, huh? So how do you get around that? You play treasure plus 2 buys when you discard one from play, return it to a pile. I don't honestly know how you get around the panic stuff. So then you're using Goldline, but then you don't get. Where's our non-terminal payload coming from? Prosper? But Prosper does not work well. So Prosper gains you 1 of each treasure, but then you lose it all. I'm going to get 1 Blessed Village, and I will take that next turn. Get myself a Margrave here. We'll see if neither of us buy a Rustic Village, then we don't have to worry about panicking. I will play this out. Yeah, I will play this alley here because otherwise I just draw it next turn and hopefully find the Blessed Village. I don't think Goldmine here is particularly good. But we'll take Patrician as it's just a unique card for potential Horn of Plenty stuff. And again, we'll play this trying to find that Margrave. I think I would still rather trash this. What are they doing? They're doing multiple catapult things. I don't understand. I'm gonna get the Rustic Village. I think we're going towards the Panic deck. But I'm gonna be pretty unhappy that my Margrave and my villages are hiding from each other. I guess Emporium is payload. Okay, we can play the alley here at least and find something. Um, really unfortunate that our Margrave just never finds its way to a village. But we will add some more villages and see what we can do. I guess we. Oh no. I think I'm just going to attack an intern. I could have played the alley first, but I think I'm more likely to collide stuff next turn if I do it this way. Yeah, I do have a Blessed Village down there, so pretty good chance I'm going to be able to find it playing the Patricians and the Margrave. How do we get to 5 to get an Emporium, I guess, is a question we should ask ourselves. Um, kind of get lucky with a roll, or we get a good village boon. Um, we get 1 silver. So my opponent bought last turn, they bought a silver last turn. I think I'm gonna gamble with the village boons. There's some pretty good village boons we can get. We will receive that next turn with the alley. We should be able to align stuff, and down there we do have a village. Also, Patrician can draw our Margrave in best case. Okay, well, we're pretty happy to redraw the yeah. So Patricians have 2 chances here to find the Margrave. Which they didn't, but I got through my deck again. Hopefully I find the Catapult here. Okay, I did not. The alternative is you get to 5 and you hit another Margrave. It's just a very sad sad state of being, but we'll see what my opponent does. If they ever miss 5, we get another Margrave for sure. I don't think I want another silver. But I'm not sure about that. Problem is if I play the alley and I draw... I mean, I guess I'm playing the alley. If I draw the Margrave, I draw the Margrave. I guess I want 1 more silver with this copper gone now. And pretty likely to hit 5 next turn. And get Emporiums. And then it's kind of a race to see who can get 3 Emporiums, and then you feel like you're pretty far ahead. Catapult attacks are going to stop very soon. Once, because like the coppers are going to return to their pile with panic. So I don't even know that we needed to put this much effort into things. But now I'll play the alley to state. So what are the bottom 2 cards of my deck? I believe it is a silver and a catapult. So if I discard 2 coppers, I will draw a silver and a catapult. Is that right? Yes. No. I drew 1 card. That's terrible. Rustic Village only draws 1 card. Okay, we'll get another Blessed Village, and we'll take it next turn. My opponent get in their last turn another silver. I'll get rid of those 2. Yeah, I just needed to not take that and then buy an Emporium. And the bottom cards of my deck are silver, catapult, and I'm okay with that. But as it stands, they're going to get the first Emporium, I think. No. Yes. Okay, I found the Margrave. Excellent. Okay, I do not want to go into this shuffle. And I'm pretty happy to get an Emporium here. I feel like I've had dud turns and my opponent hasn't. Like my opponent's just found all their stuff every turn. And I'm unclear why or how that's the case. Like they seem to have reliably drawn slightly better than me in decks that maybe their deck is a touch thinner. but they only have one Margrave, and they have to find it every shuffle. I really don't understand how that's possible for them, but they've done it reliably. Yeah, maybe it is just the catapult thing. Um, don't. Farmland can trash to gain a non-farmland card. Yeah. Like, it is possible that they bottom deck their Margrave and they don't draw every turn, which I have done a couple of times. I also village dudded with my Margrave several times, but it seems like they are finding their Margrave at the top of every single shuffle, along with a village, and that seems really unlucky for me, obviously. But I'm not sure. Maybe they've just built a more reliable deck. I don't really believe that based on how I've played. Like the opening of the Blessed Village, and they hit 5 for a Margrave catapult. Like, just yeah. Okay, moving on. So they're gonna have a pretty significant lead here going into the end game. This turn, I'm gonna get my second Margrave, and be very low on monies. They're gonna have a slight bit more money than me, it looks like. Is there a world where we do gold stuff? I don't know. Oh my god, they're buying coppers. I do have 2 Emporiums, right? They're the bottom 2 cards, which means I'm about to trigger a bad shuffle if I want to buy a good card, which is kind of the case. So Horn of Plenty seems worth a 5. How do I get to 5 money without the Horn of Plenty? Guess I take another Margrave. And no coppers? I think I discarded coppers on their turn, right? I discarded silver and 2 Blessed Villages, so maybe I take 1 copper. And this turns... Oh, I had a bunch of Blessed Villages I discarded too, so... My opponent, again, they have 1 Margrave in this deck that they added a bunch of coppers to. And if they ever bottom deck it, they're in a lot of trouble, and they never seem to do that. And I did it a couple times. So I have a silver. Is gold mine worth? Problem with gold mine is it's not money worth it. So I'm actually kind of confused as to what we're doing here now. They're buying coppers and it's working, which is kind of infuriating because they're top decking their Margrave Farmland. Yeah, into a Horn of Plenty or something. Like Horn of Plenty can gain a Horn of Plenty, but that's kind of circular. It's not clear to me that that's the way to go here, but I'm really not sure. I mean, do we just switch now to a gardens slog? Okay, at least we have drawn our deck. It's just like a legitimate question, like, we have 6. We can turn this estate into a gardens, another blessed village. If we ever hit 10 for prosper, we gain a bunch of treasures, which don't do a whole lot. I can farmland this estate into another blessed village. Like 6 is I will only have 3 money next turn though, so that's kind of a train wreck. I can play gold mine, pay off the debt using things, and then have golds for some kind of something. But At some point, I'm going to need money that I buy stuff with. So what do I want to actually buy this turn? Like a silver, a copper, um, or 2 coppers and a Horn of Plenty, but the Horn of Plenty just gives me whatever and goes away. Uh, so this is really like kind of befuddling to me. Or do we just kind of try to do some gardens thing where we get a bunch of coppers, have a big mega turn where we get coppers and then we do stuff. I'm just completely confused by how one is supposed to play with this panic thing. Or we build to a Margrave mega turn, keep adding Margraves and villages, and then try to do a pile out and get a gardens. Wow, this shuffle I drew all my good stuff at the top. Strange. My opponent still only has 1 Margrave, but their deck is kind of small, I guess. So it doesn't really matter. I suppose we get rid of those 3. We'll see what they do with their Horn of Plenty here. Mill a Horn of Plenty. I mean, there's also a world where Blessed Villages run, and where rocks run, where we gain rocks. That just doesn't seem. The thing is, the gold goes away. They're doing farmland stuff. They're getting farmlands into provinces. Yeah. They just won't have any money next turn. At some point, they are buying bad cards, but that has not seemed to hurt them at all the way it has hurt me. I'm really not sure. I'll play the alley now, just to give me some more insight as to whether the Rustic Village needs to discard. I should be okay. Did I discard 2 villages, though? I discarded 1, so I should have another village down there. Okay, so we have 5 money. I think I will take just another Blessed Village here. And then next turn, like Blessed Village Copper. And then next turn, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16. So Panic. And then Gardens will be worth a lot of money for me. Blessed Village, and then next turn, look to grab Gardens. Aha, we will receive this now to gain a silver. We'll buy 1 copper and take another turn. Okay, so the idea is to continue building up villages and draw cards and add enough treasures that we can have a turn where we get to like 30 cards. And with 30 cards, and like 10 buys, buy a couple gardens and all the estates or something. Or a couple gardens and like 50 coppers. Okay, Ellie, Margrave. And I think I will thin an estate. Is that true? I think I'm done thinning No, I think I will thin the estate just for the money. So this is 7. If I want it to be, which I probably do. Which I probably don't. So Play the 2 coppers and buy Margrave and 2 coppers. So again, every treasure I play gets me 7 buys. So, 2 coppers, 3 coppers. I think 2 coppers. Prosper's also interesting with lets me gain 5 cards if I get to 10. So what I need to do to get to 10. This turn I was at 5, losing 2, so 3 payload in play, 5. I would need like a gold or something, which doesn't seem possible without a Horn of Plenty. I'll take a 3rd copper. But like they're adding green cards, they're adding coppers. Like these decks are very seemingly likely to dud along the way. My opponent only has the 1 Margrave, which they always seem to have at the top of their shuffle. Although maybe their shuffle is small enough that it doesn't matter. Yeah. They are like repeatedly adding stop cards to their deck. It's worth noting. As am I, but I have a lot more draw than they do. And maybe the Margrave is helping them somewhat too. In terms of drawing them, sifting them through their deck. So, okay, I can draw the Margrave, so I don't need to. So again, this is up to 7 money. So how would I get to 10 for a Prosper? From here, I would need to buy a silver and a copper. A silver and 2 coppers gets me to 10. And we hope we draw. Yeah, the Margrave does help you collide your opponent's stuff, so I guess I'm overstating. They still have 1 draw card in their whole deck. If it's ever the like very bottom card, they draw all those coppers and stuff. The thin deck seems bad, but I'm really not quite sure what I'm doing here. I would need to play like 20 coppers to get the garden stuff to work, right? If I play 10 coppers, Margrave, there's always a chance that the Patrician draws, right? Doesn't seem like it ever does, but there's always a chance. Okay. So, I catapult a copper here. I don't actually need to, right? I'm just at 10. And I buy a Prosper. And that gives me 15 buys, Jesus. Okay, doubloons got me a gold, which is nice. So now I have 7 treasures that I'll have in play, which gets me to like 22 buys and tons of money. And I buy 4 gardens and like 10 a bajillion coppers next turn if I draw. Okay, I mean the deck still has like less than 20 cards, so the gardens thing is not like super reliable, but what if just like gardens gardens panic. Like you just buy a couple rustic villages, panic, and then just buy gardens and coppers every turn. Is going to be way faster than this. I think so. I think gardens panic is probably a thing because you're gaining the gardens in panic faster than you can do stuff. If I play alley here and don't find my village, I'm going to be really upset. Because this is all my draw cards too. So like my entire shuffle is a dud, basically. Like if I play the Margrave and dead draw the other Margrave, I'm just really, really sad. Okay, we did not have that problem though. Nice. Okay. So we have 6 treasures, and Horn of Plenty can gain gold or something. I guess we play both Margraves with a plus buy. I don't know how this thing that we're trying to do will work, but the Horn of Plenty gets returned anyways, so we might as well return. We might as well gain the farmland to turn a catapult into a. I might as well just gain a province then. So what's the idea? We gain a province here, and then we just gain 4 gardens, and then a bajillion coppers. And then like 12 coppers. It's just not that many points. Gardens is not that many, but each copper buys 2 more coppers. And then we buy 14 coppers. And claim that we have no idea what we're doing. Yeah, this just, like, if we'd done this from the beginning, Rustic Village, Catapult. No, don't even get a Catapult. Just open, like, Silver Rustic Village, start buying gardens, and then at some point, I don't know, because Prosper seems useful for this deck, too. Maybe I should have prospered that turn with that much money. Like, Prosper Gardens. I do not know. We should most turns be hitting 4, though, and then buy gardens and 4 gardens and 7 coppers. So our hand size is increasing by 4 a turn. And our opponent's deck is going to slowly get less reliable, especially as we're not playing Margraves to help them. The farmland into province thing is useful. 7 coppers. So this is really unfortunate if they play their Margrave here. Like, I drew 7 bad cards last turn. 6 bad cards last turn, and this turn I drawn 5 good cards. Looks like they are not having a good time, though, to start. They have province, copper, province. Okay. At the end of all that, they find I guess I want both villages. But both my Emporiums, like, this is just really brutal shuffle here. Even with a bad deck, like, I shouldn't shuffle this badly. The farmland thing was nice, because then they just need to do 3 coppers, but, like, the draws I've been getting have been kind of wild. To get rid of this catapult. I don't really ever want to play the catapult. Yeah, maybe the Prosper on the previous turn would have been useful. I do get to double gardens here, I think, if I find another copper, which I do. It does kind of get close here, although this shuffle is going to be kind of atrocious for me. They have 6 provinces in their deck and like 3 coppers, right? And a farmland. So, like, they have 10 stop cards. It doesn't seem like they should be reliably drawing deck engine. Even with me playing Margrave, helping them cycle. This Margrave seems to be at the top of every single shuffle they've had. If it was like the bottom 2 or 3 cards of some of these shuffles, I think they might have a dud. I think I've just drawn really poorly this game. Wow, a silver. It's kind of a huge concession for them, obviously. Okay. Gardens and 11 coppers. Okay, I'm 9. I return 5 coppers, so I'm 5 short of the gardens breakpoint. Which is worth noting, but I have 7 gardens. I suppose we discard everything that's not a cantrip, but I'm not sure. Oh, I guess the Patricians are working like labs in their deck. They have all those coppers, though. Did they buy enough money? What did they bought a silver last turn, right? So they have to catapult something, which they no longer have. Do they have enough money to buy a province? To buy a... Okay, they had coppers still. Yeah, this has been a really a really rough game in terms of building and putting stuff together. Them taking a garden seems crazy to me, but somehow we managed to come to tie them, returning 3. Yeah, Patricians are fine. Emporiums, they do have a farmland in 6 provinces. So they have stop cards. But yeah, so okay. I think I made this one close in the end. I feel like I had way more duds than they did early on in the game, and it just completely wrecked my chances of winning here, which is a dumb thing to say, but yeah. And then I had to wreck my deck reliability to do this crazy copper thing. It just seems like if they drew, I don't know. It seems like I've had more duds than my deck should have comparatively. Okay, I didn't even hit a breakpoint. So this should be easy for them to win this turn. Yeah, I guess the Patricians with their deck are going to draw most of the time. There's only a couple of stop cards, the couple of coppers, the couple of things. Okay, I shall resign. Well, that was a tough one. This panic is crazy, and maybe I should have seen the farmland thing. Maybe I should have built my deck differently. But I feel like those early duds just let them win the Emporium split, and they had more payload, and not really sure what to do from there.